Here in the West, a lifestyle of unnecessary spending has been deliberately cultivated and nurtured in the public by big business. Companies in all kinds of industries have a huge stake in the public's penchant to be frivolous with its spending, and in the documentary The Corporation, a marketing psychologist shows just how easy it is to increase sales by targeting nagging children, and the effect that nagging has on the parents' spending. You can manipulate consumers into wanting, and therefore buying your products. It's a game. Hughes, co-creator of The Nag Factor. This is only one small example of something prevalent in our culture, that companies don't make sales by promoting the virtues of their products, but by creating a culture of hundreds of millions of people that buy pointless stuff to chase away dissatisfaction. This is reminiscent of the analogy of culture as hungry ghosts, a culture of people who constantly want and need, but are never satisfied. We buy stuff to cheer ourselves up, to keep up with the Jones, to fulfill our childhood vision of what our adulthood would be like, to broadcast our status to the world, and for a lot of other psychological reasons that have very little to do with how useful the product really is. How much stuff is in your basement or garage that you haven't used in the past year? In the Western world, we have inadvertently fallen into a lifestyle of excessive and unnecessary spending. This culture of consumerism has been carefully cultivated and nurtured by big businesses, who have a vested interest in encouraging the public to be frivolous with their money. It is astonishing how companies across various industries capitalize on our inclination to spend, and the documentary The Corporation sheds light on this phenomenon. In the film, a marketing psychologist named Hughes reveals the power of targeting nagging children and the subsequent impact it has on their parents' spending habits. It becomes evident that companies can manipulate consumers into desiring and purchasing their products, turning it into a calculated game. This example serves as a microcosm of a much larger issue that permeates our culture. Instead of emphasizing the virtues and quality of their products, companies have successfully cultivated a society in which millions of individuals seek solace in the act of purchasing meaningless items as a means to alleviate their discontentment. It is reminiscent of the concept of hungry ghosts that exist within our society, where people incessantly yearn and crave for more, yet never truly find satisfaction. We find ourselves buying things in an attempt to uplift our spirits, keep up with our neighbors, fulfill the dreams we had as children regarding our adult lives, and showcase our status to the world. These motivations are driven by intricate psychological factors that often have little to do with the actual usefulness of the products we acquire. Let us take a moment to reflect on the sheer amount of possessions that accumulate in our basements or garages, untouched and unused for years. It serves as a stark reminder of the allure of consumerism and the trap in which we find ourselves ensnared. We are constantly bombarded with advertisements and societal pressures that urge us to accumulate more material possessions, leading us to believe that these goods hold the key to our happiness. However, the truth is far from this illusion. In our pursuit of material wealth, we often neglect the true sources of fulfillment and contentment. We forget that happiness cannot be found in the accumulation of possessions, but rather in the richness of our relationships, the pursuit of our passions, and the cultivation of personal growth. True happiness lies in finding meaning and purpose in our lives, rather than in the acquisition of material goods. The 40-hour working week. The ultimate tool for corporations to sustain a culture of this sort is to develop the 40-hour workweek as the normal lifestyle. This standard work schedule has become ingrained in our society, shaping the way we structure our lives. Under these working conditions, people have to build a life in the evenings and on weekends. It's during these precious hours that we seek solace, relaxation, and entertainment to compensate for the demands of our jobs. With our free time being so scarce, we are naturally more inclined to spend heavily on entertainment and conveniences. After all, we deserve some relief and gratification after a hard day at work. We turn to movies, concerts, and other forms of entertainment to escape the pressures of our professional lives. We indulge in dining out, ordering takeout, or relying on convenience services to save us time and effort. The convenience of these services becomes a lifeline in our busy lives. However, this lifestyle also has its drawbacks. The last thing people want to do after a long day at work is exercise, improve themselves, delve into their passions, or question the way things are. Our energy and motivation are often depleted by the demands of our jobs, leaving little room for personal growth and self-reflection. We become accustomed to seeking instant gratification and temporary relief, rather than investing in our long-term well-being. But what if we challenge this norm? What if we strive for a different kind of lifestyle, one that prioritizes personal growth and fulfillment? Imagine a world where corporations encourage their employees to pursue their passions and invest in their well-being. A world where the 40-hour workweek is not just about meeting deadlines, but also about fostering creativity, innovation, and personal development. The 8-hour workday, which emerged during the Industrial Revolution in Britain in the 19th century, was initially introduced as a means to provide relief for factory workers who were enduring grueling 14- or 16-hour workdays. As technological advancements and improved methods revolutionized various industries, workers became more efficient and productive, capable of generating a significantly higher output within a shorter span of time. One might assume that this progress would naturally lead to shorter workdays, allowing individuals to enjoy more leisure time and pursue personal interests. However, the reality is quite different. The 8-hour workday has proven to be exceedingly profitable for big businesses, not because it maximizes the amount of work accomplished within those 8 hours, but because it fosters a consumer-driven society. By keeping free time scarce, corporations ensure that people are willing to pay a premium for convenience, instant gratification, and any form of relief that can be purchased. This scarcity mentality compels individuals to constantly seek distractions, such as television and its accompanying commercials, to fill the void left by their unfulfilled ambitions and general apathy towards life outside of work. We have unwittingly become part of a culture that has been carefully engineered to leave us perpetually fatigued, constantly craving indulgence, and willing to spend exorbitant amounts on convenience and entertainment. Most significantly, we find ourselves vaguely dissatisfied with our lives, always yearning for something more, something that we do not yet possess. This perpetual sense of longing and dissatisfaction drives our insatiable desire to accumulate material possessions and consume relentlessly, as we believe that acquiring more will finally fill the void within us. The 8-hour workday, therefore, serves as a catalyst for this cycle of perpetual consumption. It ensures that we remain trapped in a never-ending pursuit of material wealth, always feeling as though something is missing from our lives. This constant sense of lack fuels our desire to acquire more, leading us to buy and consume at an alarming rate. We have become slaves to the notion that happiness and fulfillment can be found in the accumulation of possessions, perpetuating a culture of materialism and discontentment. To break free from this cycle, it is crucial to recognize the true value of our time and prioritize our personal well-being over the relentless pursuit of material gain. By embracing a balanced approach to work and life, we can reclaim our autonomy and rediscover the joy of pursuing meaningful experiences and personal growth. It is only through this shift in mindset that we can break free from the chains of consumerism and find true fulfillment in our lives. Let us strive for a future where our time is cherished, our ambitions are pursued, and our lives are defined by purpose rather than the constant desire for more. Why are we still doing it? It is indeed interesting to observe that the more conversations I engage in with people, the more I realize that many of them seem dissatisfied with the way they are living. They express a sense of disillusionment and question why we continue to live this way. This sentiment is beautifully captured by Joe Martino in his thought-provoking piece titled, "Exposing Society's Massive Scam." Martino points out that we rarely take the time to step outside of our comfort zones and explore what else is possible beyond our current knowledge and ways of thinking. Instead, we often find ourselves trapped in a cycle of recreating our past experiences and succumbing to the cynicism of being realistic. We are constantly engaged in combative thinking, seeking to assign blame to others without considering our own role in shaping our lives. In this process, we overlook the potential of new and emerging possibilities that could lead us to a more fulfilling and purposeful existence. This paradox becomes even more apparent when we observe how our attention is being hijacked by the allure of dramatic, polarizing, or distracting content. We are bombarded with sensationalized news stories, social media dramas, and endless streams of entertainment that consume our time and energy. As a result, We become disconnected from the deeper questions of life and fail to explore the vast potential that lies within us. So why do we continue to live this way? Perhaps it is because we have become comfortable in our discomfort. We have grown accustomed to the familiar patterns of our lives, even if they are unfulfilling. We fear the unknown and resist stepping into the realm of possibilities because it requires us to confront our fears, challenge our beliefs, and take risks. But here's the thing: living a life of mediocrity and conformity will never bring us true happiness and fulfillment. It is only by daring to venture beyond our comfort zones that we can discover our true potential and create a life that aligns with our deepest desires. It is through exploring new ideas, embracing change, and cultivating a growth mindset that we can break free from the shackles of societal norms and live a life of purpose and meaning. In today's digital age, content creation has become a ubiquitous activity. With the rise of social media platforms and the constant stream of information, content creators face a unique challenge: the lack of incentive to create certain types of content. This issue arises from the fact that such content often gets downgraded in social feeds and fails to generate significant engagement from users. As a result, content creators find themselves in a predicament. They are torn between their passion for creating meaningful and thought-provoking content and the need to cater to the demands of the social media algorithms. The prevailing culture has shifted towards prioritizing attention-grabbing content over content that provides deeper insights and intellectual stimulation. Furthermore, as we look ahead to the year 2024, we find ourselves on the brink of a new era. The advent of AI and automation promises to revolutionize various industries, but it also raises concerns about job security. While these technologies have the potential to grant humans more free time, there is a looming question: will the economy adapt to ensure a better quality of life for individuals who may lose their jobs? Or will reliance on government assistance become the norm? It is evident that a system overhaul is necessary to address these multifaceted challenges. We must strive to create an environment where content creators are incentivized to produce meaningful and thought-provoking content. This can be achieved by re-evaluating the metrics used to measure content success, placing a greater emphasis on substance rather than mere popularity. Moreover, as AI and automation continue to reshape the workforce, it is crucial for society to explore new avenues for economic stability. This may involve reimagining the concept of work itself and finding innovative solutions that ensure individuals are not left behind in the face of technological advancements. It is a complex task that requires collaboration between various stakeholders, including government bodies, businesses, and individuals. An economy based on frivolous addictions and gratification. Western economies have been built on a foundation of instant gratification, addiction, and a culture of unnecessary spending. We have become a society that constantly seeks to fill voids in our lives through material possessions. We spend money to cheer ourselves up, to reward ourselves for our achievements, to celebrate special occasions, and even to fix problems that could be resolved through non-material means. Our obsession with consumerism has led us to believe that our worth and status are determined by the things we own. But have you ever stopped to imagine what would happen if we all collectively decided to stop buying so much unnecessary crap that doesn't add lasting value to our lives? The consequences would be far-reaching and profound. The economy, which relies heavily on our constant consumption, would collapse and struggle to recover. The very fabric of our society would be shaken to its core. All of our well-publicized problems, such as obesity, depression, pollution, and corruption, are simply the costs we pay for sustaining a trillion-dollar economy. Our insatiable desire for more for the next big thing has created a vicious cycle of overconsumption. We consume to feel better, to distract ourselves from our problems, and to keep up with the Joneses. And in doing so, we contribute to the perpetuation of these societal issues. The truth is, a healthy economy relies on an unhealthy world. It thrives on our discontentment, our constant pursuit of the next shiny object. It feeds on our insecurities and desires, convincing us that we need more to be happy, successful, and fulfilled. But what if we were to break free from this cycle? What if we were to redefine our values and prioritize experiences, relationships, and personal growth over material possessions. Imagine a world where our worth is not determined by the things we own, but by the impact we make on others and the contributions we make to society. A world where we find joy in simplicity, in moments of connection, and in the pursuit of knowledge and personal development. This is a world that is not driven by the constant need for more, but by a deep sense of fulfillment and purpose. If we were to collectively shift our focus from mindless consumption to mindful living, we could create a society that is not only economically sustainable but also emotionally and environmentally responsible. We could redirect our resources towards solving the pressing issues that plague our world, such as poverty, inequality, and climate change. We could foster a culture of empathy, compassion, and collaboration, where success is measured not by the size of our bank accounts, but by the positive impact we have on others. Parkinson's Law. Healthy, happy people have a unique perspective on life. They understand that true contentment comes from within and that material possessions do not define their worth. As a result, they do not feel the constant need to acquire more than what they already have. This mindset allows them to resist the allure of consumerism and avoid falling into the trap of buying unnecessary junk. Unlike those who are constantly seeking external sources of happiness, healthy, happy people find joy in the simple pleasures of life. They appreciate the beauty of nature, the warmth of a genuine smile, and the comfort of meaningful relationships. These experiences bring them fulfillment and leave them with no desire for excessive entertainment or mindless distractions. One of the ways in which healthy, happy people maintain their satisfaction is by limiting their exposure to commercials. They recognize that advertisements are designed to create a sense of inadequacy and convince individuals that their problems can only be solved through the purchase of a product. By consciously avoiding excessive consumption of media, they protect themselves from falling into the cycle of dissatisfaction perpetuated by the culture of the 8-hour workday. The culture of the 8-hour workday is a powerful tool utilized by big businesses to keep people in a perpetual state of discontent. It fosters the belief that the solution to every problem lies in the acquisition of material possessions. By keeping individuals occupied with work for the majority of their waking hours, businesses ensure that they have little time or energy to reflect on their true desires and aspirations. However, healthy, happy people have broken free from this cycle. They have recognized that true fulfillment comes from pursuing their passions and living a life aligned with their values. They prioritize their well-being over material wealth and understand that their worth is not determined by their job title or the size of their paycheck. In essence, healthy, happy people have discovered the secret to living a fulfilling life. They have embraced the concept of minimalism, focusing on what truly matters and letting go of the constant desire for more. By doing so, they have found true contentment and are no longer swayed by the empty promises of consumerism. They serve as an inspiration for others, reminding them that happiness cannot be bought but is instead found within oneself. Have you ever heard of Parkinson's Law? It's a concept that is often applied to time management, suggesting that the amount of time you have to complete a task will expand to fill the available time. In other words, if you are given a short deadline of 20 minutes, you will find a way to complete the task within that time frame. However, if you are given the entire afternoon to complete the same task, you will likely take much longer to finish it. But here's the thing, Parkinson's Law doesn't just apply to time, it can also be applied to our finances. Let me explain. As we earn more money, we tend to spend more. It's not that we suddenly have a pressing need to buy more things just because we make more money, but rather we have the ability to do so, and thus we often indulge ourselves. Think about it for a moment. How many times have you received a raise or a bonus and immediately started thinking about how you could upgrade your lifestyle? Perhaps you've considered buying a bigger house, a nicer car, or going on a luxurious vacation. It's a natural inclination for many of us to want to increase our standard of living when we have more money at our disposal. However, this tendency can be detrimental to our financial well-being in the long run. The more we spend, the less we save. And the less we save, the more vulnerable we become to unexpected financial emergencies or setbacks. It's a dangerous cycle that can trap us in a constant state of financial stress. So, how can we break free from this cycle and avoid falling into the trap of lifestyle inflation? The key is to reframe our mindset and prioritize saving and investing over excessive spending. Instead of immediately upgrading our lifestyle every time we receive a raise, we should focus on building a solid financial foundation. One way to do this is by setting specific financial goals and creating a budget that aligns with those goals. By having a clear vision of what we want to achieve financially, we can resist the temptation to splurge on unnecessary expenses. It's important to remember that financial security and peace of mind are far more valuable than material possessions. Another strategy is to automate our savings and investments. By setting up automatic transfers from our paycheck to a savings or investment account, we can ensure that a portion of our income is consistently being saved or invested, regardless of our spending habits. This can help us build wealth over time and provide us with a safety net for the future. Lastly, it's crucial to cultivate a mindset of gratitude and contentment. Instead of constantly chasing after the next big purchase or material possession, we should learn to appreciate and be grateful for what we already have. True happiness and fulfillment do not come from external possessions, but rather from within ourselves and the quality of our relationships and experiences. Do we need to live in the sticks to escape this? Living in the sticks, far away from the hustle and bustle of city life, has often been seen as the ultimate escape from the pressures of modern society. It's a romantic idea, isn't it? To leave behind the concrete jungles and find solace in nature's embrace. But is it really necessary to go to such extremes to escape the clutches of this ugly system? I don't believe so. We don't have to completely shun society and retreat to the bush to find freedom and fulfillment. However, what we do need is a deep understanding of who big commerce really wants us to be. For decades, they have been tirelessly working to create millions of ideal consumers, and unfortunately, they have succeeded. Unless you're a real anomaly, your lifestyle has already been designed. The perfect customer, according to their calculations, is dissatisfied but hopeful. They want us to be constantly yearning for more, always seeking the next best thing. They want us to be uninterested in serious personal development, content with the shallow distractions that surround us. They want us to be highly habituated to the television, numbed by its constant stream of mindless entertainment. They want us to be working full-time, earning a fair amount, but always just getting by. And most importantly, they want us to be completely oblivious to the way our lives have been manufactured, blindly accepting the status quo and actively defending these invisible prison walls. But we don't have to play their game. We can choose to see through the illusion and break free from the chains that bind us. It starts with awareness. We must recognize the forces that are shaping our lives and question the narratives they feed us. We must resist the temptation to conform and instead embrace our individuality and uniqueness. Living in the sticks may provide a physical escape, but true liberation comes from within. It's about reclaiming our power to shape our own lives and define our own values. It's about rejecting the notion that our worth is determined by our consumption and material possessions. It's about finding fulfillment in meaningful relationships, personal growth, and contributing to the greater good. So no, we don't need to live in the sticks to escape this. We can create our own oasis of freedom and authenticity right where we are. It's a conscious choice, a daily practice of self-reflection and intentional living. It's about being aware of the forces that seek to control us and actively resisting their influence. Let us not be passive participants in this manufactured reality. Let us be the architects of our own lives, designing a future that aligns with our true values and aspirations. Together, we can break free from the chains of consumerism and create a world where true freedom and fulfillment are within reach for all.